Hi, I'm Subu bringing crafting to you, and today I'm going to make a Dumorama card using Sailing Home and a few other bits and bobs. So I'm starting off with some Pretty Peacock cardstock, and you want two pieces that measure 7 inches by 5 inches. So I'm going to just for the moment remove my cutting blade, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and then at 1 inch. Then I'm going to turn that round and again score at 1 inch. Sorry, 1/2 inch and then 1 inch. And then I'm going to do that on the next piece of exactly the same. So it's going to be 1/2 inch and then 1 inch. Turn it round 180 degrees and then 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Okay, so that's those two done. Right, I'll be needing my trimmer again in a minute, but I'll just put it out of the way for the moment. Okay, so before we burnish and score, choose whichever one you want to be your front, which I'm going to choose this piece to be my front. And then I'm going to bring in my Big Shot fold away, and I'm going to cut out a piece in here. Now, I've got some stitch rectangles that I forgot to get out. Yeah, stitch rectangles. So I'm going to look for a stitch rectangle that's going to fit nicely in there to give me a nice frame round. So I'm just going to have to try and see which one that I want to fit. Now that is a little bit too close, I think, in the side, so I'm just going to go one down from there. So that is the 5th one up in the stitched rectangle dies. So I'm going to put that so that there's an equal increment at the top and the bottom and an equal increment at the side. So I'm going to do that about there. So I'm just going to eyeball this. Just make sure that I've got it as straight as possible, but I'm eyeballing it. Okay, so I'm just going to run that through my Big Shot. Okay. Okay, and just pop that out of the way and then take out my stitched and so I've got a beautiful stitched edge. Don't know whether you can see that. I think the camera's just picking it up. Now then I've got this piece. Now I'm going to save this piece, not particularly on this project, but I can use it on another project. So I'm going to put that to one side. Okay, and then we're going to concentrate on the back. But before we do that, so that we've got our score lines done, we're going to bend and burnish, score and burnish our lines. And I did have my with it. I did pick up my bone folder. I know I've had it out and I've buried it somewhere. Where have I buried it? I don't believe that I've just buried that somewhere. Oh, it's right before my eyes. There we go. So I'm going to bend that backwards and forwards so it makes like a concertina like that. So I'm going to bend this up and then this back. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with this piece. So I'm going to bend it forward and then I'm going to bend it back. So lovely rich colour, this Pretty Peacock. Pretty Peacock is now going to be retiring, so if this is your favourite shade, you do need to stock up on it. Now that is ready to decorate. So what I've got is a piece of Whale of a Time DSP. I don't know whether this will continue. Well, the DSP will not continue, so we'll have it for a short while longer. But if this is one of yours, I would stock up on this one as well. Right, I'm just going to put the blade in. So Pretty Peacock is one of the colours. As you can see, this matches beautifully with that. So I'm just going to check the depth I've got here, and it is 5 inches. So I'm going to do 4 7/8. So you want 4 7/8, and the top will be 5, so I want it by 4 7/8. So we want a square. Now, do I want, just checking again, do I want majority or do I want some light in there? I think I'm going to take a bit off the top. So yeah, I think I'll take it off the top. 4 7/8. So I'm going to take that down to 4 7/8. Okay, so that can now be glued onto the back of here for my scene. So, and do get it the right way, because I want my waves facing that way. So it's such beautiful paper. I've had really lovely time playing with this. It's great for any of your scenes. Great for making scene cards with. So I'm going to make sure that that has got equal increments all the way round, and that it's the right way, so I'm happy with that. Now the front, I'm not going to quite put this on yet, but I'm wanting to put a lighthouse on the front. Now the lighthouse, I want a bit of sort of sandy colour. This could be land and beach, so I'm actually going to cut this. I'm going to bring in my mini now, because I don't need to use my big shot, because I'm using a little bit of paper, so I can just use this with my mini. Now I've pulled out, and I hope I haven't got rid of it. So this fits easily onto my mini, and what I'm wanting to do, and I got this out, and I don't know, this is the trouble when I get things out and not leave them in the boxes. I am missing it now. What have I just done with it? Just have to search, sorry. I've just got to find where I've misplaced it. Oh, I did. I left it back in the box, and I've cut it over with them. So from the actual Shark Frenzy, you've got this little curve of a wave, and I'm going to put this, so I'm going to start about starting off my paper, and I'm not minding where I'm putting it. I'm just going to join it. So we're putting it like that. Just going to make sure that is there. I'm going to run that through my mini, and then I've not finished off, so what I'm going to do is pull it out, put those back in, and then I'm going to put this to carry on. So I'm just going to make sure that I have got it. I can feel it there, so I can feel that that's in there, and just need to feel it in there and just run that through. Oh, go through for me. There we go. So I'm ending up with a wavy line like that, so it's a curve. So I've just used that. I don't need that anymore, so I'm just going to pop that back in my Sharp Frenzy box so I don't lose it. There's also a wave one in there. I love how our sweets come into change and our bundles, because this is really going to be a lovely effect. Now, I want this to be on my front of my card like this. So, and I'm wanting it to go the whole length. So I'm just going to measure from there to there. It is I'm just flattening it down. It is 5 inches. So I am going to make this 5 inches. So I'm going to bring back in my trimmer, and I'm going to trim a little bit off either side because I want the contours. I'm going to go a little bit, whoops, I'm going to do it the other way around, sorry. So put your flat edge against there, and I'm going to take a little bit off there, and I want a little bit off here. So I need that to go to 5 inches. And how much? So I need ½ an inch off it. So I'm going to turn it the other way actually and do it the 5 inches because I just want a little bit off that side. So then I can definitely still see that I've got movement there. So it's going to give me that landmass that I'm looking for. So I'm going to pop this up onto here, and I only want to glue the bottom part. So I'm gluing the bottom part and the sides. The sides can be glued, only the bottom part, because I'm not sure whereabouts that's going to be. So I'm just going to flatten this down and put that right on the bottom there. So that goes there. So it hangs straight off there. Okay, get that right to the edge, right to the edge. So there is my land. So when I'm looking at my view, I've got some land now, and then I've got my waves in there like that. So now we're going to do a little bit of stamping before we put our card together. So I'm wanting, in the forefront, I'm wanting a lighthouse. So I'm going to mount my lighthouse, and for this I'm going to put it on a have I got some very vanilla? Let's see, I've got some bits of scraps that I want to use up, so I'm just having a look, see if I've got a scrap of very vanilla that will be big enough. That's not quite. I've got anything taller than, no, that's smaller. Okay, I've not got anything as big, so I'll just leave those out, and I'll just go and get a whole piece now. See if I've got any I've got a bigger scrap here, so that's good. So I'm going to ink up with Sahara sand. So I'm going to put Sahara sand. I quite like that as a lighthouse. So I'm going to put my Sahara sand onto my, put it in the corner, onto my very vanilla. There we go. So it almost gives it like a greeny stone effect. And because it's a lighthouse, you should have your windows lit. So I'm just going to colour in the bits where the light would come through. So all I'm doing is these bits here, and these are with Stampin' Right markers, and this is crushed curry. So I'm just putting a bit of crushed curry on there, and then we're going to cut out the lighthouse. There's my lighthouse, there's my lighthouse. So I'll bring back in my mini, so I'll just position this, and I'm going to cut just a little bit around it because I don't want to put all this through, so I'm just going to cut a little bit of rough there and bring back in my mini. I haven't popped on my I haven't popped on my pin in my glue, so just pop that on a minute. Right, so I'm going to put this on my plate, and I don't want it to move, and we haven't got a magnetic plate yet, so I'm going to use a bit of washi tape. Now this washi tape at the moment is very sticky because it's new, so what I'm doing is I'm putting it on my die but not on my lighthouse. It's going on the outer side of your card. Now that, in case it sticks too much and rips your card, because as I said, this is fresh washi and it's already tore up some of my card on another project. So if you just put it on your die but not touching on what you are cutting out. Okay, so I'm going to cut out the lighthouse now. So we're building this scene as we're going along. Okay, so I'm planning that my lighthouse is going to go in here. So, but it's not going to go just on like that. I'm going to put it a little bit away. So we'll have it in a position like that. So that's the lighthouse done. And how I clean my stamps is, because they are rubber, I use my Stampin' Scrub and my Stampin' Mist. So we'll get some Stampin' Mist. This conditions your stamps. There is some little drops, and that's where you put your mist. Then you clean your stamp. This scrubs it, so it's the Stampin' Scrub. Then wiping that off, and then you'll see that there is a sunshine on this side, and that's the side that you dry it. Now you can use this with photopolymer stamps as well if you wanted to. I tend to use my chamois for that, but I don't use my chamois on here because it's better to condition your stamps with your Stampin' Mist and your what I've just said to you, oh, my brain, it's late at night, I've been busy, so I'm talking nonsense now, aren't I? Right, so basically I am going to stamp a ship. So we're going to have a ship on here as well. And I want to do this in the Pacific Point. So I'm going to do a nice blue ship that we're going to have sailing on the horizon. So there we go, nice blue ship. Pop that out of the way, put my lid on there, and I've decided to I'm going to colour the sails in the Misty Moonlight. So let's have a look. The Misty Moonlight is very similar, just slightly lighter than the Pacific Point. So bring that in for the sails. Just have the sails coming down like that. And then for the bottom of the boat, I think we'll have cinnamon cider, I think. So we'll have a look for cinnamon cider. Because I want a brownie colour on the bottom of my boat. So coming in now and just have a little bit of that in there. So, and we'll leave the rest. Okay, so I'm going to pop that. So I'm going to again just cut a little bit off that because I don't want to stick that all through my machine. Again, I'm just going to clean up. Now once I've sprayed, because I've sprayed this before, now I can carry on. This is still working, look, to clean up my stamp, and on there, and then you've got a clean stamp. Okay, your stamps do stain after a while, so you do get some staining on your stamps, but it will not come off on anything. It won't come off in your stamp pad now, or your stamp that you are doing. So we're going to put that. I've got out the die ready, so I'm going to bring back in my mini. Thank you very much for joining me. It's not told me who you are, but thank you very much for popping by and watching me. Do appreciate it. So here we go. We're going to put this on here. And so I'm going to again put some tape over here to hold it in position. And I'll pop it in there. Again, I'm just putting it on the die and the outside of the card so that it's holding the die in position but not going on the internal bit. And then put my top plate on and away we go. So look, away we go through the mini. Okay, there we go. And it nicely cuts out piece there, and I'll pop that on there. Okay, so we've got a lighthouse, we've got a boat going off. Do we want anything else? So I think we'll have some rope. Now we've got some rope as a we have some, no, kit rope. There's my rope one. So I've got my rope there, and I should have a knot. So where's my knot one? So there is a, there we go. So I'm going to have a rope. So there's a long one. There's lots of lovely dies that go with the set. That you don't have the stamps too, so I'm going to put some rope, and I think I'm going to have the rope and the tied rope. I think I'll have that in some gold foil. I'll just get a bit of gold foil and we'll put some on there. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm just getting the bit there. Hopefully that's going to hold in place, so we'll put the rope through. So let's wind the rope through. Oh, that's gone off the edge, it slipped. That's because I didn't put it down, but I don't know whether I want to redo that. I'm going to have to do it so that I actually put this on top, because so I'm going to peel my washi tape off, and I'm going to hold it in position. position. Gold foil is very slippy, and so it slips and moves about. And because I'm using a little bit of the gold foil, not a massive amount, then it slipped about. Now I seem to have got a piece I didn't want to go through in that as well. There we go. So I've got the gold foil now of the rope properly done. There we go. So that's better. So we've got a bit of that trim, and then we're going to put the rope, the tied rope through now. So I get that. What did I do with it? I got it out and put it down somewhere behind me there. So I've got room. I'll put it in this top corner and then pop that through the mini. There we go. So we've got the tied rope as well. Just give it that added decoration. Oops. That's peeling the foil off. There we go. So that's a lovely foil rope. Okay. So I'll leave those for the moment. I just want to put my dies, so put my washi tape on there. I just need to put my dies back before I lose those. There we go. Now it's got a lovely sentiment one as well. So we are going to put a sentiment on. So it's got this, let hope be your anchor through life's storms. So I have not used this one much, I don't think. I must have used it because it has got its stamp on the back. So pick up my stamp on my block, and I'm using again Pacific Point for my sentiment. So let's see if I've done that a bit too juicy. So that was well inked up and it's done it lovely. Okay, so now again I'm going to use my stamping scrub to get rid of the ink off there before I put it away. So use that to clean it up, and that's cleaned my stamp. Okay, and put that away before I've done that. And then I want a happy birthday, so I am going to use an alternative stamp for happy birthday. So I've got baby shark out. No, that's not got happy birthday on. So I'm just going to look for a happy birthday stamp. So randomly going to pick a favourite of mine. There's lots of lovely fonts, but I want a fairly small one. So this is an old stamp set that I've got. But there's lots of stamp sets that have got happy birthday on for you to use. I'm just wanting something a little bit smaller. Oopsie daisy. This one's a brand new ink pad, and our ink pads are very juicy. Oh, it's okay. So again, this is another red rubber stamp. So again, I'm going to clean it on my stamping scrub. Oopsie daisy. Clean it up, and then I appear to have got blue fingers now, which is bad news because I don't want to get it all on my stamps that I've already nicely done So we're going to use this lovely for our labels, for our sentiments that comes in the set. So I'm just going to take that off a bit and just put this through. So bring back in my mini, move those out of the way. Position my pad. And then I'm going to position this when I'm happy with where it should go. Again, I'm going to play the same game. I'm not going to put it on the card in the inside. I'm making sure that I'm just putting it on the outside with that. There we go. And then I'm going to move through that with that one. And as you can see, it gives you a lovely stitched edge on it. So it's got a beautiful stitched edge. Whoops. Beautiful stitched edge on there. So that's going to go on there. And then my happy birthday one. Now I'm just going to look, because in this set as well is a little like banner one. And I don't know whether it'll fit, but I'm just going to have a look whether it will fit a happy birthday in, because I've never tried this before. No, it's just a little bit too small that to do that. So I'm not going to bother putting it in there. So I'm going to choose to cut this. So I'm just going to bring back in my trimmer. So I'll just pop these out of the way and bring back in my trimmer, and I just, because that's a straight edge, I want to keep that straight edge, so I'm just going up just barely to keep a straight edge. So I'm going to just use my trimmer as the guide. So this really, when I put it in, what I'm looking for, let's pop it a bit closer and then I'll pick it up to show you. What I'm looking for is to bring this closer to this trimmer edge. So I'm going to bring it a bit further along. And I'm looking now that I can see that that happy birthday is under this part of my trimmer. And so I'm going to take that up and I'm going to turn it the other way. And I'm going to see whether it's about the same position. It needs taken a little bit back. It's about in the same position. So I'm going to leave that like that. And then we'll just trim that off. So I'll tell you in a minute which that has gone down to. So I've ended up with a piece that is 2 3/4 by 1/2 inch. So that's what I've ended up with. Now I'm going to show you a neat little trick. So if you haven't got the banner punch, but you have got the tag topper punch, you can just stick this in and just line up so you can see both the edges and make sure that you've got that in the middle, and then cut that off, and that's giving you a nice edge. So I'm going to do the same again. So I'm going to put it in the middle, pushing it through, and just got a little bit more and cut it off. And there, that's done me a beautiful banner punch. So if you haven't got the banner punch, I have actually got it, so I could have used that. But if you haven't, that's another way you can use your tag topper punch. I do love this punch. I think it's a lovely shape, and it fits loads of sentiments in. It's really lovely. So now we will begin to build our card. So we've got lots of elements now that we're going to build our card up with. So I am going to, before I actually put the card together, I'm going to put these in position. So I want them roughly about there. So I'm going to get some dimensionals, and I'm going to pop up my sentiment on dimensionals. But one of the things I must look at is where it's going to fall. Now, it looked all right and the position looked all right, but as soon as I've put my top on, then that's in the wrong position. So I'm going to bring my ship down, and I'm going to bring my sentiment down, and I'm looking where my lighthouse is going to fall. So I'm going to bring that in a bit, positioning it about there, and I'm going to look again to see whether I'm happy. Yes, I'm now happy with the position of that. So I'm going to see it's about there. So I'm going to pop some dimensionals now on the back of my sentiment. So I'm just going to put 3. And I remember that it was around there. So I'm going to position it, pull it away from the edge a bit, make sure it's straight, and position it there. I'm also going to put some dimensionals on my boat, yacht, whatever you like to call it. Let's put some on there. And again, I'm just going to look through my window and pull it up to about there. And then this time I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to put this on here, but I'm not going to just put it on. I'm going to put dimensionals on this side. So I only want to put dimensionals on the very bottom of the lighthouse, because I want the lighthouse to be slightly away from the land. So I'm just going to put that slightly in position and then pop it about there. Okay, so that just gives it that little bit more dimension. Okay, so now I'm going to put the sides together. Now, because I want it to do fast, I'm going to get my red tape, because I want it to stick down fast. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my red tape right up against this seam here. So it's the fold line, and I'm going to put it right up against there like that. And I'm going to cut that, but not with my best scissors. So where's my other scissors? I thought sure that I'd had them. Well, I popped them, sorry about the camera wobble. I have a rule about not cutting with my best scissors. I don't want to make them sticky. There we go. So I've got some yellow ones. Not what I was looking for, but they will do fine. So I'm just going to cut that off there, and then really burnish that down. I'm going to turn that round, and then I'm going to, again, it's this centre score line that I'm putting right up to the score line there, and then just put those. And again, I'm going to burnish that red tape down, and then it's ready to peel off. So I'm just going to do one side at a time. So I'm going to peel this off. Okay, so I'm going to peel that off, and then I'm going to put glue down the outward side like this. Now this is going to fit into a normal standard 5 by 7 envelope. So I wanted to make this one a bit bigger. So I'm going to straighten the card out, and I'm looking to put corner to corner. And when I feel I've got that even, I'm going to press down on the folds, and that will be together. And then I'm going to do this side, so I'm going to lift up, peel that, whoops, peel that off. I'm going to again put the glue on the outside, and I'm going to do exactly what I did before. I'm going to match these two, so I'm looking for these two corners on those two corners. So matching those two corners. I don't want to put it down until I've got those corners absolutely right. Okay, when I've got those two right, I'm going to commit to it and press it down. Then I'm just going to push it in like that, and that will give me my card. Okay, and then don't know what's, I've got some glue on that. I don't know what happened there. It's come off now. Okay, so that's how it will stand up, but I've not finished decorating it yet. So I thought we'd have a nice piece of rope, so it will lay flat in your card like that to post, and then just needs to be creased into place for it to stand up. So I'm going to put some glue down my rope. Oops, I've just realised that's the one that I don't want to use. That's the one that goes to funny angle. So I'm just going to straighten this one a bit, and then just go down this one. Okay, and I'm going to position this so that it's about halfway or just under there, going across. And then I'm going to put my rope on the top, and I've just realised that there's a few bits there, so I can poke them out and realise that there's a couple of bits that still to come out. Okay, so I think this is really pretty, especially when you do it in gold. I love it. I'm gonna pop this off actually to the side. I think gonna have that to the side. So that's so far, and then my happy birthday, I think I'm going to pop down here, and again I'm going to pop that on dimensionals to give that some added dimension as well. So I'm just going to put 3 on the back here. Okay, so set this off to this side here, just make sure that's right. So that is our mail card. It gives it some different depth, so that you've got your lighthouse, and then your sailing ship and your sentiment going off in the corner there. So then what I would do for the back is I'm going to make a sentiment bit for the back. So what we're going to do is do a piece that is 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. 4 7/8 by 4 7/8, and then we're going to stamp. So it says sail in the direction of your dreams, but I'm going to put a another ship on the back, so I'm going to bring this off and pop this on here, and I'm going to do it in the Pacific Point, so I'm just going to bring this into the corner. So I'm going to do a stamp right, yes, I have got that, do that in the corner there, and I'm not going to put any colour on that. I'm just going to leave that as it is. I'm going to clean up my stamp. I'm going to take that off there, and also there's some nice little birds, so I'm going to get my birds and pop some birds on. So I've got the birds, and I'm going to just put my birds on. Okay, so I'm just going to have those birds in that corner, and then just clean up my stamp. There we go. And I've got very blue hands now. Right. And then the sentiment, sail in the direction of your dreams. So I'm just going to get that one. And pop that on there. And just stick that up. Okay, and pop that in there, which will give me a chance to write in here now. So pop that on there, and then we'll just pop this now. This is going to go on the back here like that. Can't pick it off. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna pop it flat to put this on, and just leave an equal increment all the way around. And what's happened now is I have caught my fingers just there. So now there is no mistakes in crafting. There is just a opportunity to be more creative. So I'm just going to clean up this stamp. Clean it off from there. Got this, and then I'm going to get some more of my birds. So let's put this stamp away first. So I'm just going to get more of the birds, pop them there. Then we don't really want to print off on any of the card, so I'm just going to stick this right there so that it goes on the Pretty Peacock card base, and bring up my birds again, and gonna get those there like that, and bring it in there again, and just do some there. Okay, and we'll bring, oh, I know what I want to do. I don't want all of them, so I'm gonna bring that, and then I'm just going to ink up one of them. So I'm going to get one of the birds. So I'm going to go to the corner of my stamp pad, so it's only done the corner bird, and then I'm going to come back in and there. Oh, I've done that again. Oh, I don't believe this. Right. Okay, so I've got some birds going off in the corner now, and then I'll clean up my stamping pad. There we go. There we go. Now I had a bit of the waves left, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of this on there. So I'm going to go for 3/4 of an inch. So is that going to work? 3/4 of an inch I'm going to pop on that side. Let's see. Let's see, because I'm not all happy now that that's gone, and look what's happened to my fingers. They've got very inky. So I will have to do something with this now to make it so that I'm more happy with it. So I'm not going to carry on video because I want to go off and wash my hands and sort it out. I might even take this off and put another piece on, but you get the idea. So that is the finished card. I hope you like that. So it's a good card for a mail. But still got some nice sparkly bits on. So thank you very much for dropping by and watching me today. Do appreciate it. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Sue Boo bringing crafting to you. Do appreciate that, everybody who subscribes. If you haven't got a demonstrator and you see the products here that you like, please get in touch or go on to my Facebook business page, which is also Sue Boo bringing crafting to you, and there is a link on there that you can shop online with me. So anybody who shops online with me always gets a thank you card and a free gift. Thank you very much for spending time with me. Do appreciate it, and good night, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Bye.